Jim Comey likens the president to a mob boss, and the Dems jump on the bandwagon.
I thought it was interesting that Director Comey is sort of analogizing the Trump team to like mob folks that he's prosecuted. When Comey talked about it as a little bit like a mob organization, that also has the ring of truth to it.
And the ring of truth. And that's just one of the most outrageous things I've heard this week. Here with more, media reporter for The Hill, Joe Concha, joins me now. All right, Joe, what's your take on Tim Kaine saying that it had the mob boss, the title had the ring of truth to it?
I think Tim Kaine, Judge, has only a short-term memory because I believe that he staunchly criticized Jim Comey right before the 2016 election when he reopened that campaign. And look, Comey's book, Judge, is being treated just like Michael Wolff's, where gossip was treated as gospel. And that's what Tim Kaine is engaging in here. And I agree with Chris Wallace, who was on this network yesterday, where he said, he doesn't use these kind of words very often.
Yeah.
He was surprised at how, quote, bitchy the book was.
Yep.
And he also said, one could argue, and I'm quoting him here, that by getting into the kind of political food fight that James Comey has done more damage to his own reputation than President Trump's. I think Wallace hit it on the head, and that's why he was actually trending on Twitter yesterday. Yeah,
well, you know, it's a kind of thing that for somehow it rings true, more true than the mob boss thing. But let's talk about something else. Now, we've got Lawrence O'Donnell, and I think we've got sound on what he said this week also. Take a listen.
Paul Ryan is not even close to being the worst person who has been Speaker of the House. Pedophile Dennis Hastert served 8 years as the Republican Speaker of the House, only to be revealed in his retirement to be a criminal. And before the Civil War, of course, we had slave-owning Speakers of the House. But they were all more effective in their job as Speaker than Paul Ryan.
Wow. We've got slave owners and pedophiles and, you know, in his effort, Lawrence O'Donnell, to trash Paul Ryan. Let's talk about that. Your take?
Oh, sure. Well, Lawrence O'Donnell will be the same person on his show on MSNBC who will say that the president is debasing the level of discourse within this country. And then he turns around and calls Paul Ryan, and you could agree or disagree with some of the decisions that Paul Ryan made. He always conducted himself with class, and compares him to a pedophile and a slave owner. Look, Lawrence O'Donnell, in these sort of situations, it's pre-planned, it's contrived, it's supposed to be shocking in order to get his name so-called in the paper, so people like us are now talking about it. And that's what cable news has become in some quarters, because all they want to do is draw attention to themselves by saying something so shocking that we have to talk about it, and therefore the bosses say, good job, Lawrence, you created a buzz.
But you know what, I don't...
everything, it's a whole bowl of wrong, Judge.
I don't get it, Joe. What's with the slave owner thing? Weren't the Democrats the slave owners?
I think a lot of, you know, George Washington was. I don't know. I mean, it's a stupid analogy, and it shouldn't even remotely pertain to Paul Ryan or any modern politician.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even want to comment on it anymore.
All right. I can see that. All right. Let's talk about Hillary. Hillary Clinton back in the news, probably moaning for another reason as to why she didn't win for president. Let's take a listen.
You know, after the devastating election of 2016, which, you know, I'm still trying to figure out, to be honest with you. You know, maybe I don't need to say this because it's pretty obvious. We are living in challenging times. We're living through a war on truth, facts, and reason. Watching as racist and white supremacist views are lifted up in the media and in the White House.
Joe, 10 seconds. Hit it.
Oh, sure. We're watching a public therapy session in action. And all I know is this. Hillary Clinton was paid $25,000 to do a speech at Rutgers. That was $7,000 less than the Snooki of Jersey Shore and Smush Room fame. That's all I know. No one wants to hear what she has to say anymore.
All right. Joe Concha, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Stay classy.
We'll be right back.